Sex is all over the place in our society today. We're all just a couple clicks away from endless hours of visual sexual stimulation, free of charge. Video games, music videos, and even children's programming are all filled with sexually provocative content. There is no safe haven from the pull of sexuality. Nevertheless, sexuality is not an evil thing, even in the slightest. It is something the Most High gave us to bring new life into the world and for opposite sex partners to enjoy each other. When used in its proper context, it can be a most productive activity. If you grew up in or around Christianity, you will know about the subject of fornication. Those who cheat on their spouses, prostitutes, those who participate in casual sex are deemed to be fornicators. The accepted definition of fornication is having sex outside of a marriage. Honoring your marriage and being faithful to your spouse is in every way a good practice and should be encouraged by everyone, as this is good for society to have strong and faithful marriages and families. This definition, however, does not work from a biblical standpoint. There isn't anything in Scripture saying fornication is having premarital sex. This is something heavily pushed by the Christian church as a means of control in pushing people into marriage licenses and laws which are disadvantageous for men. Fornication, biblically, is a catch-all phrase for any and all sexual activity which is in violation of the law. There are laws for sexual activity in the Torah. There is a law against incest, which is having sex with someone in your immediate family, or a step-sibling or step-parent in your immediate family. There is laws against bestiality, which is having sex with an animal. There are laws against adultery, a term which is also misconstrued as having sex outside of your marriage. This is not the biblical definition because it would make it impossible to have multiple wives, which the law allows. Adultery is having sex with another man's wife. A woman who has been taken to wife by a man is off limits to anyone else but that man. Wedding ceremonies were a way to let the community know a woman has been spoken for by a man. There are laws against homosexuality, which is men having sex with other men. There are many other laws besides these, such as the law against having sex with a woman on her period, or having sex with a woman and her daughter. All of these activities fall under fornication. Many get confused by the words of the writer of Hebrews in Hebrews 13:4, where they say fornicators and adulterers will be judged. There's also Paul in 1 Corinthians 6:9, where he lists sexually immoral acts and includes fornicator in the list of other acts, which would all fall under fornication. Things tend to get lost in translation, but when you see fornicator or sexually immoral, the Greek word here will be pornos, which is specific to male temple prostitutes. When you see fornication or sexual immorality, the Greek word here will be porneia, which means any and all forms of unlawful sexual activity. There are certain things which have traditionally been deemed as wrong, which the Bible does not prohibit, and there are other things which we think are okay, which the Bible deems unlawful. One needs to read what the Torah says about our sexuality because it speaks much about it. There are other things I could say here and prove through Scripture, but I don't want to be too controversial or cause anyone to stumble. We must take heed to Paul's words in Romans 14 in allowing our liberty to lead someone else into sin. We need to stop judging people on things which they should not be judged on. We must judge with righteous judgment, and it is a grave sin to add and subtract from the law. This is what Jesus was so angry at the Pharisees and teachers of the law for doing. We also need to understand we have been judged by the Most High for the ways in which we have done fornication. We have a habit of doing our sexual conquests with our Israelite sisters, and when we're done doing that, we settle down to create families with the women of other nations. It is an egregious form of self-hatred to see Israelite sisters as being unworthy of becoming wives and mothers. If you have built yourself up to be a man who has legitimate romantic options, and you choose a woman of another nation over your own women, are you truly loving your neighbor as yourself? This is not to tell someone to go marry an unworthy woman just because she's an Israelite. A woman must meet the standard of womanhood, just as a man must meet the standard of manhood. Many of our Israelite brothers will tell you they don't date their own women because of their behavior. We are all responsible for our own behavior. Yet, it's a strange phenomenon when these women who we see as being so bad act so differently, so positively, so cooperatively with men of other nations. Let's understand, women will always follow the men. The key word here is men. Many of our brothers have yet to ascend to manhood. Manhood is not what Pookie on the block deemed you to be when you found some chick to lay on or got some chick pregnant. Having your first time with a woman is not the day you became a man, as that's not manhood. That's the behavior of a dog. Dogs go around randomly and mindlessly jumping on and impregnating the females. Man was made to be higher than the animals. Man's dealings with women are to be intentional. We are not meant to be led by our base instincts and urges. Looking at the family structure in our community and just how hazardous romantic relationships are amongst our people, we've allowed our enemies to separate us to where we don't even want to deal with each other romantically. The land has vomited us up like the Most High said it would if we didn't follow his laws. Record-breaking abortion rates, single-parent homes, low marriage rates, and high divorce rates. We were told this would happen, and here we are. What we're going through as a people is not an accident or bad luck. It's prophecy. It is a true saying that the truth will set you free. Christianity has relegated us to one wife and monogamous marriage, which can't be annulled under any circumstances, as divorce is deemed as a sin. While Scripture does say the Most High hates divorce, nowhere is it prohibited. It's only restricted. The law allowed you to divorce for any reason as long as you made it official with a certificate. Jesus, under the command of the Most High, made it where you can only divorce your wife if she violates sex law, noting we were allowed to divorce in the past due to our stubborn hearts. Many who come into the truth of being Israelites will have to unlearn the things they got from the Christian church, and our understanding of fornication is one of them.